in the field. It's one man I expect to see doing something today.
Brendan Morley on your program.
The Charlestown team, number 8 they're lining out, Mark O'Donoghue. Number 2 is John Kilroy. Number 6 is James Brett. Number 9, Kieran McBride. Number 19 there is Peter Brennan. Number 8 is Anthony Conley. Number 11, Chris Coffey. Number 13, John Casey.
John Nolan retains his position, and Peter McGuinness is
number 14 there, number 12, James Kilroy.
And Michael Finnegan retains his position at corner
forward.
forward.
There is Brendan Harkin. Declan Casey there, returning from England for this game especially. He's lining out.
The referee
looks
like
today
is Hugh Rudd.
He'll be lining out in the dugout. Number 16, Sweet 16 there for England. There's the only grey on the field, Pat Murray. Running back there, number 2, John Kilroy. Declan Long there in the goals. Tommy Galligan in goal there too, number 4. Tommy Brennan now. There's Tommy Brennan, the goalkeeper. There's Val, of course. Have them all now. Number 15 is Johnny Finn. He is on the team. Well, that's a surprise selection. And Kearney. There's the pep talk and there's the team manager, Sean Ryan. Charlestown team forward.
Kieran, how are you doing? Thanks, good.
Field for Charlestown. There's a shake in the middle there. You run. Referee for the day. Coffey could possibly be a key man. Charlestown. Peter Brennan. Joe Mahan. And for Mark now. Casey. I'm ready. James Kilroy. Anthony Conley now with the ball. Off to Joe Mahan. He's inside. Michael, get the tackle. Looking out, tackled. Tony Gaels. There to Tommy. Clearance for Tommy. And over the line. Stephen, do you want to get the mic out there and hook it up? And in for Eastern Gaels. Paul Hessian. High, it's long. In towards it, rises for Beck McDonald. Breaks it out. Tony Gaels. Under pressure. Moves out the field. Guinness with it. Hook up the mic. Hook up the mic. I don't want to miss any of the game.
In the box.
Well broken away by Mark O'Donoghue. The full forward. Guinness. Past the square. Low one inside. Shot. Well saved by Tommy Gaels. Anthony now with the ball. Now go Anthony. Good ball up the field. Casey.
Come on, lads, run with them! Michael! Mike Pearson, man! Hey, Paul!
You got the mic there, lads. Come on. Quick ball by John Casey into Chris Caulfield. Shot by Chris. Oh, just great here by the keeper out for 50. Lindsay Kilroy with the 50. Hook it in, I'll show you how to move it up now. You have to comment on it, so when you do. Lindsay Kilroy. See, his kick is in. Into the goals. John O'Neill with the ball now. Out to his namesake. He's just not going into the game as yet. Mike Daly there from Ballyhon's on the ball. Hook it in here, look. Hook it in here. No, I missed again. Ooh, saving on the line. Great save.
This thing here says Mike. Look at that. How we know?
It's turned on.
How we know whether it's working or not?
It is working. Talking to the crowd there, I don't think saying to the crowd and give you a
50 ball for Eastern Gaels.
Who's taking it?
Jerome Murray.
Talking to it.
Tall, gangling centre forward. What a strike. The first score of the game after 5 minutes of concerted pressure. Hold that for a minute, Pat. Give your comments about that score.
A pretty even match. A pretty even match. Where's the wind? You want to go 1 minute, same mistake as the last game. A pretty even match so far. Eastern Gaels winning by a point. And really it should be 1 point all, as James Gilroy's free was a bit low. He usually puts them over, but however...
Kieran McBride pumps in a quick ball into his forwards. Alan Riley is hoofed off it. Oh, catalogue of errors here. Back to McBride. Robbed. McBride has it again. Anthony Conway. Some say he bears a resemblance to Lee McHale, but good ball. John Casey, corner forward, going through. The first point of the game for Charlestown. It could have been a goal, but he settled for the point.
A great point by Casey. He could have got a goal there, but we'll be happy with a point at this stage. Stephen Healy doing 2 jobs here today. He's also the chief reporter with the Connacht Telegraph.
We'll be going over to Stephen now. We'll be going over to Stephen now shortly to get his comment on the game. Well, there's a bit of a delay getting the ball back here now, but Charlestown a little unshaky at the start. Not really settling on the ball well. And it's 50-50 at the moment, and Eastern Gaels keeper now with the kick out. Here comes now, steps up. It's long, high to the centre of the field. Rising for it. Eastern Gaels get possession and they're inside. Inside now, going 30 yards out. Shot, no, pass off. Declan O'Donnell's tackle is good. Broken away by Anthony Conway. And it's a foul, a free in there by Anthony Conway. Yes, the crowd aren't happy with that. Even Stephen Healy, and I'll put you to Stephen right now to hear what he has to say about this game.
A very disputed free there. Up
John
steps,
Nolan taking it.
John Nolan to take this free. This favours a left footer.
It's not a difficult angle. He should make
Breeze
it count.
assisted. Oh, he did not set it out. He's wide.
That
He
is-
didn't allow for the wind.
That is a let
A
off for
bad miss
Charlestown. Yes,
for Eastern
absolutely.
Gaels.
It is a let off for Charlestown.
Eastern Gaels will be seeking to make full advantage of this wind in the first half. Tommy Brennan.
Luke Murray kicking out the ball.
Tommy Brennan sets the ball up for the kick out for Charlestown. Not one of his best. Anthony Conway avails of a mix-up in the Eastern Gaels ranks. Down to James Kilroy. Picks it up. A good ball down to Chris Caulfield. Alan Riley. 21 yards out. A shot to the right and wide. A good effort though from Alan Riley, who is already proving a handful for the Eastern Gaels full-back Paul Kane. I'll hand over to my co-commentator Pat Murray.
That was a good move by the Charlestown attack. It shows they can carry the ball from the halfway down very knackily, and it's a pity they didn't make that shot count. But however, it just goes to show that they are a dangerous side and will have to be watched, as Luke Murray kicks out the ball for Eastern Gaels, and Tom Collin will. PJ Brennan, I thought he was fouled there. That should have been a free, but the referee ignored it. But he gets possession again. Eventually Charlestown get the free. Pete Brennan was really appended there at midfield. Kieran McBride, the midfielder, to take it. Drops it on the 14. Up they go for it. Hands grabbing. Eastern Gaels have it. Paul Kinnan, is it? A Charlestown man down injured, and it definitely looks like he's going to. It looks like he's going to get attention.
His brother now, as we know, is in the dugout. What happens is John Casey is down injured. His brother's in the dugout, waiting to call in. Sean Riley now comes in there to see how he is. Pardon? Yes, we have a good crowd here today, of course, as you can see. Yes, the crowd are there. Yes, I see some of the All-Stars from Charlestown there again, as usual. And here's our compatriot here at the near side. We're back to the game. Breaks down. Eastern Gaels on the attack. John Ronan, followed by Anthony Conway. Short one. Into Peter McGuinness. Declan O'Donnell is marshalling him well. Turns him. Declan O'Donnell robs him. Well tackled by James Brett there. Declan O'Donnell comes out the field. His clearance is good. Out to the field. Broken in by James Kilroy to Chris Caulfield. Now Charlestown are moving. Great ball inside. Into Joe Mahan, who's high tackle there, and Joe Mahan leaves the ball down. Well, Joe is one of the old fold. He doesn't take his own frees. Alan Riley now is going out to take this free. Kieran McBride has it. Well, Alan Riley must have got the call up in the last few moments. Alan's he's about 40 yards out. A good wind blowing in his face though. Here's his kick. He steps up. He kicks it high. It looks good. Great point there by Alan Riley. Well, that's a great boost for Charlestown. I'll hand you over to Pat.
That was a very valuable score there by Charlestown, and it started off when Declan O'Donnell cleared that ball down to midfield and they carried it in, got the free and converted it. A very good move. Back to Tom.
That score was created by some brilliant defending by Declan O'Donnell on the full back line. Luke Murray bets up for the kick. It's a low one. Michael John O'Neill, Eastern Gael centre back, under pressure from Chris Caulfield. Great tackling by the Charlestown forwards. Ronayne guilty of overtaking. Kieran McBride. Oh, not good. Not a good ball. James Carney gets it. Fouled in the process. Delivers a ball out to the wing. Jerome Murray, this big, tall, gangling Eastern Gael centre forward, is fouled by his marker. Jerome, a guard based in Dublin, according to my co-commentator Tom Collin. This game at the moment has been spoiled by some niggling fouling. Pat?
I'd like to welcome Channel 4 viewers who have just joined us today, and we wish all our spectators across Britain a very enjoyable afternoon. It's a free kick for Eastern Gaels.
David Delaney.
A low one. Mark Donoghue has it. Finds Carmack Bryan. Ball is blocked down. Joe Mahan picks up the loose ball. Tries to go by two Eastern Gaels men. Gets the ball back to Mark Donoghue, and he's pushed into the sideline, and it's a sideline ball for Eastern Gaels. Or for Charlestown, sorry. Joe Mahan has it. Playing well so far. Back to Tony Conway. Tony Conway goes through, storming through. Toe to hand once, toe to hand twice. Hops it, toe to hand 3 times. He's made the space. Has he been fouled? He has been fouled. And he's won a valuable free for Charlestown.
Tremendous run through the middle by Anthony Conway. A very athletic looking player. Foul 14 yards out. Can Alan Riley punish Eastern Gaels? Sets the ball. Up he steps. 3, 4, 5 paces. Hands on hips. Wearing these bicycle shorts, which have become a very common feature in the game of late. He points it, and Charlestown have moved to 3 points to 1 ahead, and all against the wind. Hand over to Pat.
I'm very pleased with the way the game is going so far, because I think the breeze is favouring Eastern Gaels slightly, which undoubtedly, and the Charlestown are getting these scores in the first half. They may be very valuable at the end. Let's hope they can keep their wide totals at a fairly minimum level, as Luke Murray kicks this ball out for Eastern Gaels. Will he drop it around the centre? He does. Kieran McBreen goes up for it, the ball goes loose, and another Eastern Gaels man has it. A short one. Into the half forward. He flicks it over to the on-running half forward. Back to number 11 for Eastern Gaels. He goes for the return. He has the return. And they've eventually won a free for Eastern Gaels. And this looks as if they will make this count. Back to Stephen Healy.
This Jerome Murray at the moment looks the only player in the Eastern Gaels forward line capable of penetrating the Charlestown defence. And David Delaney strikes over the free. 3 points to 2 after 10 minutes play. Pat?
What's the score goes again, Stephen?
2 after 10 minutes.
3 points to 2. No team will be unduly worried yet at this stage. Both teams still sizing up each other. Would you like to get a look at our opposition there, Tom, from NBC, who are filming right beside us? But watch the kick out. Brennan for Charlestown with the kick out. Drops it around midfield. John Ronayne has it. But Chris Coffey gets a boot to it. But it's the corner back of Eastern Gaels who gets it up the field. Up towards the full forward line for Eastern Gaels. They have it again. That was John Nolan there who was fouled, and the referee is going to award a free in for Eastern Gaels, and it looks like this may make the sides level. Although I have seen frees from this angle missed in the past. Have you, Stephen?
I have.
I'm sure you missed 1 or 2 from that angle yourself down through the years.
I have indeed, Pat. But indeed. David Delaney. David Delaney.
David Delaney to take this for Eastern Gaels. Will he make it count? And he doesn't. And Charlestown supporters in the stand will be pleased with that. Back to Tom Colleran.
Yes, the crowd now. Tommy Brennan with the kick out now. Out to the middle of the field, rising for it now is Kieran McBride. Bit of a bump in the back there, but out there Eastern Gaels in command there on that half forward line. Well blocked down by Mark O'Donoghue, tips it away. Oh, nasty tackle there on Mark O'Donoghue. Well done there. Peter Brennan now kicks it back. Well, Charlestown now begin to come forward. That's what they need, a good half back line. Short ball to Peter Brennan, gathers, turns, fakes, clears it out to the far wing. Eastern Gaels get it. Turned inside, Jimmy Ronan. Long ball into the corner. They're searching out that corner. And Mark O'Donoghue suffers the tragedy of another free there. This number 15 for Eastern Gaels has given Charlestown a lot of trouble. Yes, another free in for Eastern Gaels. This one is about 35 yards out, but a good bit to the left of the goals. There's the angle there, you can see. It's high, it's in towards the goal mouth, and it's just by the post again. Well, Charlestown are giving me a let off. Eastern Gaels have missed at least 4 frees in this half. Tommy Brennan will be relieved to see that one go by his goals. And now we see the tussle in midfield. Hasn't really developed as yet. The Charlestown half back line are coming under severe pressure with every kick. Tommy Brennan's kick is high, rising, centre of the field. Anthony Conway is rising forward. Catches, Anthony Conway gathers, turns. Clears it out to the wing. Joe Mahan gathers, tackled, hustled, turned. Joe's inside his man, pulled again. And Joe leaves the ball down now for the quick free. Kieran McBride is out on that ball. Short ball to Anthony Conway, but no, that's no good. The ref says you've got to take it back. Kieran puts it down again. McBride's kick now. It's bad, it's not good. Into an Eastern Gaels man's hand. Poor free. Broken out by Mark Donoghue. Well done there by Shawnee Gav. Cleared out over the line by Shawnee Gav. Well, Charlestown backline certainly under the pressure they were expecting, but certainly not from their own players. This is a high one. This is a tester for Declan O'Donnell. Rising for this James Brett. Breaks it forward, but not enough. Jimmy Ronan. Good score there by Eastern Gaels. Good score there by Jimmy Ronan. Seamus Runane. Correct. Okay, Stephen, how do you think this game is going so far?
The Eastern Gaels number 11 at the moment looks to be the most penetrating player on the pitch. That score again came from some great approach work by the Eastern Gaels number 11, Jerome Murray. 3 points each after 15 minutes play. Charlestown were on top for the first 10 minutes, but Eastern Gaels looked to be coming back into it. Well played by Kieran McBride in midfield. Delivers a low ball into John Casey. John Casey looks up. Alan Riley moves out. Not a great pass. Michael John Ronayne. Picked up off the ground by Paul Kane. Free into Charlestown. And some very good hassling by the Charlestown forwards. Alan Riley thinks about a quick one. Common sense prevails and he puts the ball down. Has a look. 25, 30 yards out to the right. This kick should be ideal for a right footer.
Awkward enough angle.
The kick comes in. James Kilroy gets it. A good score by James Kilroy under an enormous amount of pressure. And over to Pat.
Yes, a great point by James Gilroy, calling on his years of experience to actually put that over the bar with 3 or 4 men around him. A very well taken score. And as Charlestown are playing against the breeze, I say they were very well pleased with the way the game is going at this stage. The ball breaks at midfield. Chris Caulfield gets it for Charlestown. He's fouled. Will he take a quick one? He does. He takes a quick one. Drops it into Kieran McBride. He's all alone. He's going through. This has to be a chance. It must be a chance. And it is converted by James Gilroy. That's 2 in a row. Yes, James on an extended holiday to Charlestown will be very pleased with that score. If I was Eastern Gaels now, I'd be just getting slightly worried at this stage. But I must emphasise only slightly worried. There's a lot to play for yet. Over to Stephen Healy.
The fast ball seems to be working for the Charlestown forwards. Kieran McBride ghosted into a great position. Gave off a good ball to James Kilroy. And he punished Eastern Gaels defending. Free to Eastern Gaels. Seamus Ronayne, the very agile Eastern Gaels midfielder. Again plays Noel McGuinness. Jerome Murray again points it. Jerome Murray at the moment looks the only Eastern Gaels forward capable of making an impact. Pat, hand over to you. What do you think of this Eastern Gaels number 11?
Yes, he's playing very well, and he has a great surname. I'm not surprised. But besides that, I think that it's hard to pick out yet who is going to actually win this game at this stage. Both sides are taking off their scores when they get into scoring positions.
Pat, Eastern Gaels have made an important switch there. They've pulled out. Jerome Murray has gone out midfield, and Noel McGuinness has gone in centre forward. Eastern Gaels have looked in trouble all right in the midfield for the first 15 minutes. Will Murray make an impact? Kieran McBride.
Kieran McBride now has it.
Off to his partner Anthony Conway. Anthony Conway, takes the high ball in. Michael John, Jimmy Ronayne. Good clearance. Noel McGuinness. Here's Michael Finnegan, or Stumpy as he's known as to his friends. Declan O'Donnell cuts off that ball. Out to Kieran McBride. Anthony Conway. He has a man on his outside. Decides to play the ball into James Kilroy. James Kilroy playing very well. Sells a dummy.
Oh, that's class play.
Michael John Ronayne, whoever, cuts off that ball. Out to Cathal Hessian. Cathal Hessian to Seamus Ronayne. The tempo of the game has been lifted. Plays a good ball down the wing. Tommy Gavigan, however, good stop by Tommy. Tommy plays a ball to James Kilroy. James Kilroy at the moment is playing great stuff. Plays it inside. Sideline ball. Charlestown's favour. The Eastern Gaels fullback at the moment looks very short of toe. Chris Caulfield, score for Charlestown. Pat?
That was a great score by Charlestown there. And the main man involved was James Gilroy, playing very well. Seems to be a lot fitter than the last day, and his new training methods that he's employed seem to be paying off. And Charlestown will be pleased with that score. Kick out by Murray from Eastern Gaels. It'll drop round midfield, and it does. Up they go for it. And it's Jerome Murray with the ball. Back to the Jerome Murray again. Back to his half forward. And he gets the point. A feature of this game is when one team scores, the other team seems to be able to go down immediately and get another score immediately back.
Thank you, Pat. Well, this is a very, very tight game. It's up and down the pitch. Fitness could be 6 points to 5 and throw by Stephen Healy there after 18 minutes. And I must say that fitness will be a tale at the end of this game. The pace is ferocious and the heat is something else. It's at least 80 degrees and the humidity is 95%, we're told. Charlestown now rising forward outside. Breaks to Joe Mahan, just beaten by his... Brendan Morley gets it. Turns outside, delivers off to David Delaney now. Turns outside, goes down the left wing. It's a deep ball, in for McGuinness again. Punched on by McGuinness. This man is causing a little bit of trouble. Tommy Gav has that one in his hand securely. Turns inside. He's fouled on the edge of his own square. And he leaves it there. Tommy Brennan now will take that kick out. There's well held by Tommy Gav. Declan O'Donnell there now. Charlestown looking confident now. If they could hold it like this, it's a good kick by Tommy. Out to this side of the field. Peter Brennan goes for it. Breaks under him. And a good tussle there for it. But Eastern Gaels are there first. Their help is there first. Their cavalry is there first. Fouled by James Kilroy. Charlestown now are losing a grip on this game. And broken out over the sideline there with the Eastern Gaels man. And this is Charlestown. Some of the breaks coming their way. And certainly need to hold this game as tight as they can in the first half. Stephen, I'd fancy Charlestown to win in a close finish. How would you see it? Up by Anthony Conway, turns inside. He's been pulled and dragged and it's a free in. Anthony Conway's kick is long into the middle of the field.
Bad ball really.
Breaking forward, outside Eastern Gaels first to it. Turns inside, tackled by Peter Brennan. Again, Peter Brennan has been taken to the ground. This could be a free in. No, a foul after the ball was certainly... Anthony Conway there being asked to watch the hot ball. And it's a jump, broken down. To Anthony Conway, well done there by Sean Gavigan. Back to Sean. Sean's kick is long. Half block down. Chris Caulfield is bustled off the ball. James Gilroy bustles his man, ribs him, and clears. And Marty Hawken tells James Gilroy there to play a bit of football. And James has already scored 3 points in this half. 2, is it? Stephen Healy tells me 2. Seamus Ronan, is it? Seamus running in now with this kick for Eastern Gaels, right at the centre of the
see yourself. There's right there.
His right, Captain Mayo.
Rising forward. Well held there by Brendan Hawken. Turns. There's no help for Charlestown though when their men get the ball. Joe Mahan is down there to help again. Joe turns. Uses his pace. Flo Joe, they used to call him. Look at the speed of that man up the field. Jinks inside. He's called for over carrying the ball. And that's a surprise to Joe. Down in the hands of James Brett. He's bustled off it. Gets it again. James Brett now punches it outside. That's the wisest move he ever made. Pete Brendan's beaten to it there. These half-backs are coming on top. Well done. Declan O'Donnell is inside. He's caught for a bit. He gets it.
Wide.
Charlestown could be in trouble.
Wide, Tom.
No, the umpire signals wide. Correct. The umpire signals wide. Well, Charlestown half-backs not getting the ball out. Stephen, we said that the Eastern Gaels half-back line. We said that the Eastern Gaels half-back line certainly would be a threat, and it looks like they're getting on top now in the dying moments of the first half. What would your opinion on that be?
Yes, Carl Hession has definitely come into the game at right half forward. He's attacking and overlapping and supporting his midfielders when he gets the ball. The game has stopped at the moment for an injury to Eastern Gaels free taker David Delaney. And Charlestown have made an important switch in the forwards. John Casey has come out and Joe Mahan has gone in.
I don't know.
Tommy Brennan kicks out the ball.
Jeez, Tom, I don't know about that.
Brendan Hawken fumbles. Seamus run in. Fouled. Quick ball in. Peter McGuinness again. Shows. Declan O'Donnell shields him well. That's a great score. Wide. Good tackling by Declan O'Donnell again at full back. But Peter McGuinness is certainly the pivot of this Eastern Gaels attack. Pat, what's your impressions after 20 minutes?
I agree wholeheartedly with your statement so far, Stephen, and I think if the game keeps at this pace, it'll be the last 10 minutes, and whichever team will be the fittest will carry the day. But let's see what happens so far. Back to Stephen.
The Gavigan brothers are certainly on top of their game at left corner and left half back respectively.
Broken down there by John Casey.
David Delaney. Seamus run in. The moment the ball seems to be hot, as a lot of players are fumbling. Michael John Ronayne, this storming Eastern Gaels centre back. Again looks for McGuinness. McGuinness again delivers the goods. John Nolan. Sean Gavigan playing great stuff at left half back. Oh, I say there's a bit of a flare up. The Gavigan brothers. Tommy dished out a nice right hook. Referee Hugh Rudden is calling him aside. Could he be in for an early bat? Pat, your impressions? Did you see that flare up, Pat?
I did, but I don't think he'll be going for nearly bad because it was just one of those things that occur in a game of this importance, and I think he'll get off with a warning.
Referee Hugh Rudden is laying down the line.
Getting the line.
He's getting the line. Charlestown have been reduced to 14 men after 21 minutes of play. Tommy Gavigan dispatched the line for an uppercut.
I was wrong. Seldom, but I was wrong.
Linesman Michael Daly is in. He's in to pinpoint something. Referee Rudden. Again, Tom, the crowd seem to be giving Tommy Gavigan referee seems to be giving a free in. A very controversial decision. John Nolan steps up. Pat? I thought it would be a hot ball at the very most, Pat. What do you think?
Well, didn't they actually see the incident?
Charlestown were worthy of a hot ball, and it's over. The sides are level, Pat, after 22 minutes.
But it'll be interesting to see what changes are made now that Charlestown reduced to 14 men.
Controversy with referees that caused the winning and losing of games.
Yes, I've noticed that, Tom, the last couple of years. It seems to be the referees are deciding who wins and who loses games nowadays, you know. Sometimes I wonder should the players bother turning up at all.
Pat, let's see how Charlestown are coping with this. Been reduced to one man. John Casey, Tom has gone back left half back. Sean Gavigan has gone into the corner to replace his brother, who has got an early bat. Sean Gavigan playing great stuff. Delivers a good ball down to Joe Mahan. Joe Mahan seems to have reverted to his starting position of right half forward. Joe be bottled up by Brendan Morley. Referee gives a free in. At the moment, no Charlestown player wants to take the free. Kieran McBride. This very fit Charlestown midfielder runs out, just sets the ball, looks up for a short wall, nothing on. The Charlestown sideline, barely in a worried look. Sean Riley has his hands on his hips. Michael John Ronayne was guilty of a trip there. Peter Brennan. I think the Charleston, it would pay better dividends if they played the quick ball instead of setting them. Peter Brennan fights hard for that ball. Anthony Conway, blocked. Noel McGuinness, looking for a free. Anthony Conway playing great stuff at midfield. Gives it out to his colleague Brendan Hawken at right half back. Delivers in a high ball. Jimmy Ronan is secure of that high ball. Gives it off to his cousin Michael John. Michael John is fouled. Referee blows the whistle. And the whistle is gone for half time. The scores at 6 points each. Hand over to Pat Murray for his impressions of that first half.
Yep. Hello, welcome to the halftime talk here at this East Mayo Junior Final in Gilmartin Park, Kilchima. We've have you paused again, Tom?
Are you pausing?
Recording.
No, don't worry about it. It's all
Tom,
right.
look at the crowd there, Tom. You should switch to the crowd there.
Welcome to the halftime discussion here at Gilmartin Park, Kilchima, and the halftime and the East Mayo Junior Final between Eastern Gaels and Charlestown. And two experts have joined us, one from each side, Stephen Healy, who was in the studio earlier, and
Lucia McGuinness.
Huh?
Lucia McGuinness.
Lucia McGuinness. And Lucy, I believe you're married to one of the Eastern Gaels footballers.
That's right. I'm married to Noel McGuinness.
Yes.
And he was playing midfield at the beginning of the game, but he had to be moved to the half-back line due to circumstances beyond his control.
And you're pleased with his performance so far?
Well, I don't know, but I would be pleased with the team's performance.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think it's very level. The play is very level at half-time.
Yeah.
It's anyone's game.
Who do you think has played well for Eastern Gaels so far?
I think Jerome Murray has had a very good game so far. And I think David Delaney has had a good game also. But overall, the team are playing well, they're passing well, and that's the main thing, and I think it'll be a good second half.
Yeah. Do you think the breeze is making much difference here today? Do you think the fact that Charlestown have it in the second half will matter towards the end?
It could well do. As long as we can hold Charlestown for the first 10 or 15 minutes of the second half, I think we have a good chance of winning the game.
Yeah.
But if Charlestown pull a good lead in the second half, in the first 10 or 15 minutes, we could be going home without the cup.
Yeah. How fit are Eastern Gaels? Have they done much training for this match?
They have. They've trained very well for this game, and it means a lot to them. And we're all hoping that we'll be celebrating tonight in Jim Ronan's in Bacon.
Is that right? It's the Eastern Gaels point of view, and she hopes to be having a few drinks in Bacon tonight. But now we have the Charlestown expert, Stephen Healy, and for Stephen's summary, I must ask him, does he concur with what Lucy was saying? Do you agree with what the Eastern Gaels experts were saying there?
To me, I think Charlestown let this game slip. Charlestown, for the first 15 minutes, were in dominant form. James Kilroy was moving well in attack, but they seemed to lose their way for the last 10 minutes and allowed Eastern Gaels to get back into the game. But I think the main character in this first half has been Eastern Gaels centre forward Jerome Murray. He more than anyone has galvanised the team, and he's brought them back into this game.
That's right. He seems to be at the hub of a lot of these Eastern Gaels attacks, and the Eastern Gaels crowd themselves are very, very pleased with him. I noticed that some of the Eastern Gaels scores came from simple Charlestown mistakes. Did you notice that?
Exactly, yeah. The Eastern Gaels Charlestown back seemed to fall asleep momentarily, allowing the Eastern Gaels forwards to slip in behind them, and the ball was over the bar. Elementary mistakes which Charlestown must cut out if they are to win this game.
Yeah. And do you think the wind will make much a difference in the second half?
I think the wind, if anything, will favour. I think Charlestown. I think the wind has died down a little.
Yeah.
I think if Charlestown decide to shoot from 30-40 yards, it may well pay handsome dividends.
Maybe we're overestimating the strength of the wind here today, but as there was many a game that was won and lost against the wind too, let me say. And
at the minute, this game is in the melting pot. This game is in the melting pot. It's balanced on a knife edge. The team that scores, I think, a goal could well decide the outcome of this East Mayo Junior final. Pat, what would you think, Pat? Now?
Yes, indeed. I think a goal could decide it.
Peter, up here for an interview.
This game is sponsored by the Coca-Cola Corporation from the USA, rumoured to be more powerful than the whole Soviet economy.
The ball is in. Pat, the ball is in.
And the ball is in and the second half is on. And first is the Eastern Gaels midfielder, and they're awarded a free. Out of his hands, into the full forward line. Charlestown get a clearance. Declan O'Donnell has it in his hands. A nice clearance, but it goes to a loose Eastern Gaels man. He finds the other midfielder. He's tackled by Kieran McBreen. Eastern Gaels still have the ball now around the 30-yard mark. And number 13 is Solomon through. And that was a very well taken score by Eastern Gaels. And the first score second half. They've been pleased with that.
It must be remembered that Charlestown are playing with only 14 of their players right now. This will be a test of Charlestown's determination and strength to win this championship. Tommy Brennan now steps back for the kick out. Eastern Gaels go one in front. Is that right, Stephen? For the first time since the second minute. Kick out by Tommy Brennan now, rising to the centre of the field. Rising for there, Chris Caulfield breaks up. Down inside, tackled by John Casey, turns him. Tackled again by Chris Caulfield. Second tackle, Chris Fowles. Quick free inside. Into McGuinness again, the target man. Turns inside, lets it go into space. Chasing it is Mark Donoghue. Mark gets on his right boot, clears it out to the far wing. This is good direct football, but it's out over the line by Mark Donoghue. Well, Charlestown will need to get their passes right, especially playing with 14 men. But I think they have it. They have the fitness if they can do it.
Tom, could you get a picture of Mark Donoghue's
Short ball. Peter Brennan gets it, clears it long down the field. Long ball down. Rising forward is Alan Riley. Broken away from him. Well got by John Casey. Picks up. Passes inside. Chris Caulfield has a chance of a score. He's 21 yards out. He's pulled. He's fouled. He's fouled. Short free. Into Peter Brennan. Shot. And a great point there by Charlestown. Well, that's enterprising stuff there by Chris Caulfield, certainly. And a good score by Peter Brennan that'll bring him back into the game. Now Charlestown really picked up their game. That was a great score. In fact, Peter had a chance of a goal there, but he wisely took the point and levelled the thing up again. The scoreboard is there. It's 7 apiece according to my reading of it. Kick out now by Eastern Gaels. The goalie is playing a little bit of cat and mouse now with the ball. And I'll switch you back over now in just one moment. Here's Brendan Hawken now tightly marking his man. This is a tough player, this guy. Long kick out to the middle, rising forward. Peter Brennan just beaten to it. Gets it, turns it inside. Stumbles, gets it again. Charlestown are not playing in numbers, that's their problem. They're isolating their players. And there's a nasty tackle now on Sean Gavigan. And of course the ref lets that indiscretion go. Or has he punished a past one? Sean Gavigan's kick high in towards the goal mouth. Great ball, John Casey's on the end of it. It's he and the goalie. John Casey gets it, turns it outside, passes it out. Great ball by John. Out to Alan Riley. Alan Dummies his man, gets inside. Punches it inside, great chance of a score. Blocked down by Chris Caulfield. Point here now would be valuable for Charlestown. Peter Brennan turns. Good ball up to Anthony Conway. Blocked down again, caught by Anthony Conway. Free in. Charlestown get the free in. Well, that's good work there by Charlestown. They're really trying hard. Now, Stephen, back to you.
Some vigorous tackling by the Eastern Gaels backs was punished.
Coming on top, Stephen, though.
Charlestown are certainly getting on top, and the half forward line in particular of Peter Brennan, Chris Caulfield and John Casey, after a poor first half, have got on top. A good score by Alan Riley, and Charlestown again edge in front. At the moment, the game is balanced on a knife edge. A goal either way. A goal either way could decide this. Pat, what do you think?
Yes. Well, a goal in either way could decide this match. Remember the hurling final between Tipperary and Kilkenny, and that lucky goal that Tipperary got in the side of the match. That could happen here today as well. The ball is landing around the midfield area. Up they go for it, and the Eastern Gaels midfielder have it down towards the 21-yard line. Up comes Declan O'Donnell. But a nice work there by the Eastern Gaels attack. But it ends up wide, and Charlestown will be glad to see that ball go wide, let me say, because that was a scoring position.
It has to be said, Pat, at this stage that Eastern Gaels full forward Peter McGuinness is really the man that's making their forward line tick. He's repeatedly getting in front of Declan O'Donnell and laying off the ball to his incoming forwards. That time, Seamus Ronayne failed to take full advantage. But Charlestown have been warned. David Delaney into the goalie's hands, not a great ball. Tommy Brennan clears.
Great clearance.
It looks to be going out over the sideline. It's an Eastern Gaels ball. Michael John Ronayne, the storming centre back, sets himself up for the kick. Linesman Peter Geraghty certainly laying down the law as to where the kick should be taken from. A high ball. Murray again gets it. Gives it off to this John Nolan, this speedy corner forward. Noel McGuinness. Is it over? Keeper Tommy Brennan.
Charlestown has space now, can they use it? Up to James Gilroy.
James Gilroy. Oh, his pass just went outside Alan Riley.
But Riley gets it out the other sideline, flicks it back to James Gilroy. James Gilroy, he's going through, held by the jersey, but he gets through.
His kick is just tails
The
left.
ball is screwed, but the Charlestown man will be
Kieran McBride runs out to the sideline to get it. 2 men outside him. Oh, he kicks it wide. Perhaps he should have passed the ball outside to his two loose colleagues.
If that ball went over, it would have been a very valuable score for Charlestown there.
Charlestown don't have their tails up, it has to be said. Their midfield pairing of McBride and Conway have certainly come to grips with this match. Pat?
The return from Conway from London is definitely been a great addition to the Charlestown team today. His strength at midfield has counted for a lot so far. And the ball is kicked out and it goes to, a bit of argy-bargy there, but not much. But Eastern Gaels have it. The centre half back. And there's a free in for Charlestown. Can they make this free count? Who will take it? Running over towards it is... who's that lad there, Stephen?
Sean Ford. Can we get you up here for an interview, Ford? And Charlestown, the forwards are certainly hassling the Eastern Gaels backs well. It has to be said the Eastern Gaels backs are under increasing pressure to clear the ball. Alan Riley sets up for this kick. It's about, Tom, would you say 35 yards? 35 yards. Up he steps. A low one. Not his best kick. Paul Keane. Michael John Ronayne. Fouled. That could be a crucial miss for Charlestown. Tony Conway jumps by. A fine athletic footballer. His kick is blocked. Seamus Ronayne delivers. Mark Donoghue in great form for Charlestown at cornerback. Tony Conway delivers. Alan Riley shows. Paul Keane of Eastern Gaels full back delivers. A high ball. Noel McGuinness has gone inside. James Bredd reads the situation well. Gives it out to Declan O'Donnell. Declan O'Donnell delivers down high. Up goes Cathal Hessian. Chris Caulfield. John Casey. John Casey out. Picks it up. Peter Brennan has gone inside. Not a great pass. Free in though. Eastern Gaels mentors don't like that decision.
That was a nice move by Charlestown all the way up the pitch, and it came from James Gilroy. Very intelligent play in defence where he caught that ball and found the loose man. And it's a free kick for Charlestown, and who's taking that?
Alan Riley.
Alan Riley is stepping back to have a shot at goal.
Referee Hugh Rudden punished some back chat by Eastern Gaels and moved it into a more kickable, favourable position. Alan Riley. Peter Geraghty, the linesman, reports some off the ball niggling. Will Hugh Rudden take the necessary action? Pat?
Will Charlestown lose the advantage of the free? The referee is walking towards the ball, but no. And Charlestown get a very valuable point there. Alan Riley. Very well taken. The breeze seems to be getting slightly stronger too. And I think Charlestown will be slightly happier at this stage, but I must say only slightly happier, as Luke Murray places the ball for the kick out. If you're watching this, match in New York, we'll say hello to everybody we know out there in the McIntyre, Bosco Welch, all the rest. But however, to get on with the game, free for Eastern Gaels, taken out of their hands. Drops it just beyond midfield. Up to go for it. John Carney has the ball.
Half time, Tom.
John Carney came in for half-time on the Charlestown team. He finds James Gilroy. James Gilroy finds up towards Chris Caulfield. Chris Caulfield, they've got a man in the mouth.
Oh, Pat.
That has to count for a miss for Charlestown. It definitely was a scoreable position, and they had the overlap.
Pat, that wily veteran of many a championship campaign, John Carney, has been introduced at cornerback. We seem to have missed that change at half-time, but he certainly has made his presence there. He certainly has made his presence felt in the second half. He cut off that ball well and set up a good Charleston attacking move.
His strength will be invaluable for this match.
Pat.
And experience. The strength and experience will be invaluable before this match is over.
There's a lot of concern over this injury to the Eastern Gaels keeper.
Yes, the Eastern Gaels keeper sustained a slight knock there, but he seems to be all right, and he's going back towards his goalie. And this is a Charlestown 50, I think. Yes, it's a 50. And Alan Riley again. Now, should he score this one? He doesn't go for a score. He finds Kieran McBride, who's loose. Back to Alan Riley. Scoreable position. And a point by Alan Riley. Now, these scores should certainly lift Charlestown at this stage. They've got their nose in front by how much? I must ask Stephen.
10-7,
Huh?
Pat, sorry.
10-7. There's 3 points between the teams or a goal. Eastern Gaels might start panicking now and going for a goal because time is ticking away, but there's still a good lot left in this match, so there is. Are Eastern Gaels contemplating a substitution?
Pat, it must be pointed out that Eastern Gaels at the moment do not seem to be utilising their spare man. Charlestown, if anything, look to have 15 men in the park.
Exactly, but often in the past, 14 men, have won games. We've seen it down through the years. 83 Dublin versus Galway, when 12 men won the game for Dublin. What more can we say? And it's a line ball for Charlestown, and this should get them out of trouble as young Gavin goes over to take it. Sean Riley, can we get a shot of Sean there waving instructions at the Charlestown team? Does he scent victory? The Eastern Gaels, Michael John Ronan. Down towards the 21-yard line. And Declan O'Donnell fly kicks it on the volley, up the field, up to go for it. And who's that? Over towards Alan Riley. He's soloing through. He finds James Gilroy. And James Gilroy is extremely accurate from these positions, and he proves it again. A lovely point. That's 4 points between the teams. Can Charlestown now just finish off Eastern Gaels? But they're not finished yet. How many minutes left in this game, Stephen?
I'd say there's about 14 minutes gone, Pat, and there's about 16 left to play. But Charlestown seem to hold the edge.
Jimmy Ronan for Eastern Gaels.
Brendan Morley storms up the field. John Carney reads the situation well and delivers the ball to Declan O'Donnell. Declan O'Donnell delivers it for first time. Michael John Ronan. That looks to be a Charlestown ball. Charlestown ball. Peter McGuinness doesn't like the decision. Brendan, take your time. Brendan Horkin. Charlestown can afford to waste time.
Take your time, Brendan. Find a man who's loose.
Eastern Gaels are making the switch. JP Ward is in. And Stumpy has been taken off. Stumpy trots to the sideline disconsolate.
What's the number?
Eastern Gaels ball. Alan Riley disputes the decision. JP Ward is on, Pat. Michael Finnegan is off, or Stumpy as he's known to his friends. He's not happy at being taken off.
Not happy at being taken off, but who is in these games nowadays? But will this change reap benefits for Eastern Gaels? Time will tell. They've got the free at midfield, and David Delaney takes it out of his hands. and he drops it in 21-yard line. Out comes Paul McGuinness into the substitute, who is JP Ward, and he gets a score. His first kick of the game, he gets a score. Now, will that lift Eastern Gaels? When the substitute comes on and gets a score immediately, it often lifts teams. We shall see. As Tommy Brennan places the ball for the Charlestown kick out. We're back to Stephen Healy.
JP Ward may well have lifted Eastern Gaels' flagging spirits. Tommy Brennan, suitably attired with his baseball cap, kicks it out. Cahill Hessian, well taken by Cahill. Gives off a ball to David Delaney. Delaney delivers into Peter McGuinness, once again out in front of his man. Sifty ball. My God, I thought Eastern Gaels had a certain goal on there. John Kearney kicked that ball away, out over the inline. Once again, John using his experience well. Jerome Murray seems to have faded out of this game, Pat, in the second half. After a magnificent first half, he has struggled to make an impact in the second half. What do you think, Pat?
Of course, he may be tired. He may be tired at this stage, but there's a lot of time left in this game.
That's a great delivery, but kicks it wide.
Charlestown will be very pleased to see that ball go wide, I can tell you.
At the moment, it scores Eastern Gaels need and not wides. A lot of concern on the Eastern Gaels bench as to how they can turn this game round. They came into this game as roaring favourites. Charlestown came in with nothing to lose, and at the moment are playing the better football.
Steady yourself!
Noel McGuinness. Wide ball. Some misunderstanding in the Eastern Gaels forward line.
That's two chances that Eastern Gaels have missed that they might have scored there, and Charlestown will be pleased to see those two balls go wide, I can assure you. Now, can Charlestown regain supremacy at midfield? Eastern Gaels have got to the last two kickouts. He's slightly, but we shall see from this kick out. And yes, it is dropping in the midfield area, and it looks like Eastern Gaels are going to get it again, and they do. Number 4 for Eastern Gaels, out onto the right hand side to one of his men, into a ball, out go for it, and who has that? Who's that for Charlestown? Mark O'Donoghue with the ball, and he gets a free out. Now this is the third attack that Eastern Gaels have failed to make use of. Now, can Charlestown get back in the midfield? Will they make changes?
It must be
Time will
said,
tell.
That Mark O'Donoghue has been an absolute rock in the Charlestown defence. He has cut off and intercepted some very dangerous looking Eastern Gaels attacks and has delivered the ball very assuredly. James Kilroy using his strength well. Paul Keane, however. Here comes Brendan Morley. 30 yards of space to move into. Fouled by Chris Caulfield. Seamus running in. And there's an Eastern Gaels player down. Can you spot it, Pat? It looks to be Jimmy Runane. Jimmy Runane is down. Or sorry, Pat, Noel McGuinness, Pat. I stand corrected. Noel McGuinness.
Number 8, Noel McGuinness.
The star of the show in the semi-final, but has really struggled to make an impact in today's decider. Seems to be carrying a head injury. A lot of concern.
He doesn't want to go off, that's for sure.
No, he doesn't want to go off.
No.
I think he's all right. He may well, Pat, be better deployed in the full forward line because he's very accurate and knacky and knows how to score. Declan Casey has been introduced into the Charlestown attack. In place of his brother John, who looks to be carrying an injury.
Declan Casey has shown at minor level down through the years and under 21 and definitely been an addition to the Charlestown attack. He is a very experienced player. He's won minor, county, championship and league for Charlestown. But anyway, back to the game. And Tony Conway gets the ball up the field, up towards Alan Riley. Alan Riley, he has possession. Can he get by the full back? He does. He gets the ball goes in, but it's intercepted by Eastern Gaels. A left-footed clearance, but it looks like it's going over the sideline. It is, and it's a line ball for Charlestown. Now, who's going to take it? Alan Riley. We'll take a quick one. He does. Is it a wise move? Well, it looks to be wise because it's gone to the substitute, number 19 for Charlestown. A massive kick and an extremely valuable point there for Charlestown. That's an extremely valuable point. scored by Peter Brennan. He wasn't on the last day, he's on today. His message is I should have been on the last day, and he's really sending that message home. That's a very valuable score by Charlestown. When you consider that Eastern Gaels haven't failed to score in the last 3 attacks, it could be a psychological score for Charlestown. Now can they get the midfield? Ball, up they go for it, and they have it, Charlestown. And the soul up along the, who's that with the ball for Charlestown, Stephen? Peter Brennan, into Kieran McBride. Kieran McBride into Alan Riley. Alan Riley over towards James Gilroy. The ball beats him, but can he get to it? He shows great pace, and he's got it. He's got it. Oh, a dangerous ball, but the full it. I'm sorry, I was wrong there. I said it was James Gilroy, but it was Declan Casey who made that attack. I'll hand you back to Stephen now.
Charlestown playing with renewed vigour and spirit. Here's Jerome Murray. Maybe he might be the man to bring Eastern Gaels back into this game. Declan O'Donnell showing a clean pair of heels to Peter McGuinness, to Eastern Gaels full forward. Kicks it out. Here's John Nolan. Great work by Sean Gavigan, however, and he wins the free. Sean Gavigan has really been on top of his game at left half back today. Tommy Brennan, the Charlestown keeper, is going to take this free. Sean Riley issuing instructions. Charlestown look on the verge of creating a major upset. Here's Seamus Ronayne. Seamus Ronayne fouled. Peter McGuinness again the target. Michael Cleary, Jerome Murray, dangerous. James Brett reads the situation well, however. Gives a good ball out to the wing. Kieran McBride and Peter Brennan. Cathal Hessian and one of his teammates collide. John Carney.
James Gilroy keeps it in, can he keep it in? He can't.
James Gilroy using his experience well. Christopher Caulfield. Paul Kay and the Eastern Gaels full back, whoever has really kept Eastern Gaels in it today at full back. Pat?
That was a great chance for Charlestown there, but Chris Caulfield was wrong-footed with the pace of that ball, and the Eastern Gaels made the clearance, but it's only out over the sideline, and it's a sideline ball for Charlestown. Taken quickly, back towards James Gilroy, back towards the man who took it, Alan Riley, now right-footed across the middle. It's dropping wide. Charlestown would have liked to have scored that score there, so they would have. But still, time is ticking away. How much is left, Stephen?
Oh, but it said there's about 7 or 8 minutes left.
7 or 8, Stephen says, but he has no timepiece here, we're not sure. Eastern Gaels sideline are beginning to shout instructions all over the place. Are they panicking or are they making wise moves? Luke Murray kicks the ball out for Eastern Gaels. It's dropping at the midfield area, and they get the loose ball, but they lose it again, and Charlestown get possession. And the winner free, and considering that Eastern Gaels had possession there originally, they'll be delighted to get that. James Gilroy, an intelligent ball into Declan Casey, who's fouled, and it's another free for Charlestown, and is Declan Casey injured. But the ball is taken by Kieran McBride, a quick one towards Alan Riley. Alan Riley trying to get by his man, pretending to go right, goes left, but he's robbed. And out come Eastern Gaels, out towards Seamus Ronayne. Seamus Ronayne now finds Jerome Murray. Jerome Murray with the ball, but he's fouled, and it's a free for Eastern Gaels. I hand you back now to Stephen.
Seamus Ronayne has really battled to the last in a vain bid to get Eastern Gaels back into this game. Peter McGuinness has been switched back to centre back by the looks of things. John Carney tackles his man. Here's John Nolan. He could be the Eastern Gaels trump card. He has the speed. David Delaney. Great block down by John Carney. Tremendous play by John Carney. James Brett, Mark O'Donoghue. Good tackling by the Eastern Gaels half forward line.
Oh yes, a great robbery by Charlestown at the vital stage of the game.
Peter Brennan has really performed heroics in the half forward line in the second half. Michael John Ronayne guilty of an off the ball trip. Referee Hugh Rudden punishes him by moving the ball 14 yards closer to the goal. Kieran McBride settles on the ball. He can afford to waste time as Charlestown have a 4-point cushion. Pat?
It's very fortunate for Charlestown that Eastern Gaels attack broke down and they won the ball in midfield and got that free. Now can they get a score? They can't because Luke Murray gets it into his hand and tries to find a loose Eastern Gaels man, Brendan Morley. Now what'll he do with it? He tries to find the midfielder, but Charlestown intercepted with it. James Brett, the UCG player, up to Alan Riley. He doesn't lift it high enough, but it then goes to the full forward. And James Gilroy will score a goal, and he will be delighted with that. Yes, James Gilroy, an extended holiday from New York, will absolutely be thrilled with that goal. And now, can Charlestown really wrap up this game? Midfield, the tension and anxiety on the faces of the whole lot of them. It's a free for Eastern Gaels.
James Kilroy really showed his class there as he got in front of his man, saw the dummy, and crashed the ball to the roof of the net to give Eastern Gaels netminder Luke Murray no chance.
Yes.
Charlestown, at the moment, look to be heading to a major upset. Great work by Kieran McBride in midfield and Declan Casey. Charlestown seem to be on the verge of history. They're looking for their first East Mayo junior title since the heady days of 1988 when they did
the county. Now if Charlestown can remain calm, pick up the loose men and keep their net intact, they should carry off this title. Well, let's see. The ball goes in and Eastern Gaels now trying to pull it out of the fire. The midfielder in a clash with Declan O'Donnell there, Seamus Ronan. And is Declan O'Donnell going to be spoken to? He's not. He just moves the ball in. And now, can Charlestown keep their net intact? Because time, I'm sure, is running out. Don't know exactly how much time is left, but maybe the linesman can tell us if we can get his attention. But anyway, it's a free kick to be taken by Eastern Gaels. David Delaney sends it over the bar. A nice point, narrows the gap. How much time is left? 7 minutes. 7 minutes, we're informed by the officials out on the side. The pitch is left in the game. Isn't enough for Eastern Gaels to win the game. Their sideline are definitely panicking. Now, who will win the vital midfield tussles in the last 7 minutes? Over to Stephen.
That Charlestown's fate is in their own hands. They're 6 points up, 7 minutes to go. On top in most sectors of the field, Brendan Morley storming forward. Brendan Morley fouled by James Brett. 14 yards. A very debatable decision there, Pat.
Well, James Brett has been in a lot of tussles, down to the years. He wouldn't have think that was fairly hard. He's played for UCG and he's been in a lot tougher situations than that. And I'd say he's surprised that that's a free given against him, I've seen him playing some hard forwards.
James Brett, who on Tuesday is hitting for the States. There is doubt as to whether he will be available should Charlestown qualify for the county semi-final. But we'll leave that for another day. Tommy Brennan clears his ball. Out the wing, out over the sideline. Eastern Gaels ball. Carl Hessian.
Right, Charlestown, settle down.
Pat Murray roaring his charges on. Pat unable to line out in this game today because of work commitments. Is that right, Pat?
That's true, work commitments.
Work and study commitments. Once more back chat by the Eastern Gaels is punished. Certainly they can ill afford to concede. They can ill afford to concede frees at this stage of the game.
That's Brendan Hawkins sticking, and I agree.
Here
Sticking to his man like glue.
Sean Gavigan. That free was very hotly contested, Pat.
This match going live to 89 countries here today, and another 100.
Don't forget, Pat, man of the match to pick yet.
Yes, we've man of the match here, and we've been penciling a few names as this match has been developing. And Stephen Healy, and myself and Tom Collin will be casting our vote about 3 minutes from the end, and hopefully we'll get the winner to the sideline for an interview. But these guys nowadays often rush to the dressing room because the fans do really go looking for autographs and stuff. But however, Charlestown have it. Tony Conway, number 18, finds Peter Brennan out to Declan Casey, ex-minor.
Great score, Pat.
A great score by Declan Casey, and he'll be really thrilled with that. Can he lay a stake for a permanent place in this team as we advance? Oh, there are a lot of nominations here for man of the match. Yes. Oh, well, contenders for man of the match.
Peter Brennan was dropped for the semi-final, but he certainly has proved his point today with a great performance and has contributed 2 points into the bargain. Here's Brendan Morley. Oh, Noel McGuinness lets that ball fall to his legs. Declan O'Donnell, boy, storms out. 2 Charlestown men under the ball. Cathal Hessian. Down to David Delaney. David Delaney.
Come on, Hawken.
Stopped by Peter Brennan, by Brendan Horkin. Up to Peter Brennan.
Come on, Brennan. Good man, Peter Brennan. Fair play to you.
Not one of his best passes. Here's Michael John Ronayne. Oh, a nasty trip there by Peter Brennan, however. He urges his men to show for him. Seamus Ronayne seems to be the only player who's willing to carry the battle to the Charlestown team. Here's Noel McGuinness.
Noel McGuinness for Eastern Gaels. He's fouled and he's a free in. Now we take it quickly. Or that's Seamus Ronayne. He's wearing the number 9 anyway. Brendan Morley, number 7. What'll he do with it? He gets a free. He gets a free for Eastern Gaels. Very scoreable position.
Noel McGuinness is running up the field. Is there something on here, Pat? Is there something on?
Well, will they try the quick 1-2 or will he, is it just a decoy run? Let's see.
I'd say it's a decoy, Pat.
Paul McGuinness. And there's another valuable clearance by Charlestown. If this game is won and lost, it's in these valuable clearances by the Charlestown defence, plus the opportunities scored by the forwards. Out the gum, and the ball runs loose, and will Charlestown win the race possession? Yes, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. It is now! It is now! It's over now! It looks like Charlestown have won it with only 3 minutes to go in the game, or thereabouts. Yes, it's a great goal, a great goal.
Christopher Caulfield displaying Scalacci-like skill. Plants the ball past Eastern Gaels netminder Luke Murray.
Man of the match in their last match. Has he put himself back into contention for this match with that winning score? But Eastern Gaels, they're noticeable, never say die attitude. And here they're soloing through at number 11. He's scoring through, he's on the 21. He's got John Carney around him. And he wins the free for Eastern Gaels. But
that was great tackling by John Carney and Declan O'Donnell, the 2 most experienced men on the team. There's no substitute for experience. Jimmy Barry Murphy said that on the Sunday game. We're seeing it now on this Sunday game.
Yeah. I'm sure a point would be as good. A point would be as good as he's going for a goal.
Wide.
And he sends it wide. And the game is over. And Charlestown are the East Mayo Junior Champions 1991. And yes, they are really thrilled with themselves, and so are we up here in the studio because we have Irish descent. We're very thrilled with that result there by Charlestown. And now it has come to this time to decide the Man of the Match award. And I've got here Stephen Healy and Tom Collern with me.
Dermot Horkin.
Up in young forward there.
Get a picture of him, Tom. Get a picture of him for the game.
What do you think? Tom, will you give me some comments there where we talk about our Man of the Match?
Huh? What?
Have some comments there where we sort out a Man of the
Right,
Match.
okay, ladies and gentlemen. Jubilation there in the Charlestown.
Tribute there to Sean Riley, Tom.
Yes, Charlestown mentor there in the middle of the field. There he is. There's Sean. Managed this team. Certainly deserves all the congratulations. And yes, jubilation there among the young players of the Charlestown camp. Noel McGuinness there, disappointed Eastern Gaels player. Eastern Gaels disappointed, disappointed. But Kieran McBride delighted there too in the centre of that. John Carney, another man who's held the East Mayo Cup before in his hands. John Casey delighted, Joe Mann. Extraordinary stuff there with those players. Declan O'Donnell there, look at him. Captain of this team. And whom we expect. James Kilroy there too.
There's Sean Riley's daughter out, Tom. Sadie, is it?
Sadie.
Sarah.
Yeah.
The daughter-in-law.
Nancy Conway there.
Tom, get your camera on this Charlestown team as they go for the presentation. Well, coming over this side of the field to where the cameras are.
Get a few words there with Declan O'Donnell. Declan O'Donnell, I'm getting a few words with you for the video. Yes, that's Kieran Byrne, is it? Yeah, we know what you're right.
Declan, can we have a few words with you here? Declan.
Where's the cup being?
And Sean Riley must be delighted. Eamon Dunphy again has to eat his words of this morning's article in Sunday Independent. When will Eamon Dunphy ever learn about managers? And the Charlestown team now making their way over for the presentation. I see young Brett Dunhoe, James Gilroy, Casey lad, Johnny Finn, injured himself in training. Bobby.
Pat, let me give you a mic for a minute, Pat. John Carney winning his second junior medal in 3 years. Cannot hide the smile on his face. He's a smile from his two lugs. Peter Gertie sportingly congratulating him.
Better the second time. Well done.
John, we get an interview here, John. John, an interview. John, an interview here, John. We want an interview, John.
Let's put the camera.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for a great reception. At my age now, you're not used to getting cups like this. I'd just like to thank the officials first, Hugh here, the referee, umpires and linesmen, the captain master for having officials with good order. Then I'll go on and thank our supporters. I think we have the best set of junior supporters in the county. Then I'd like to thank the lads. The lads have put in a lot of work into this. They've trained every night along with the seniors, and the seniors were getting ready for the championship. And when the seniors went down, the lads continued on and trained again. Even though a few went to the roses to leave, it didn't seem to do them any harm. I'd like to thank Sean Riley and Kieran McBride. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the Eastern Gaels. Eastern Gaels team for the match. It was a fine sporting game. Good job. I don't think anyone got hurt or anything like that. So I'd like now to have 3 cheers for the Eastern Gaels team. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Thank you very much.
Go on, don't be hiding now, don't be running away. Tommy.
Well done, didn't it?
No, great. Fantastic. Tommy, how are you?
Did you do the commentary?
Didn't do as good as
Former chairman of the county board.
How are you?
You're doing right now, you did. Cheers, the pay great stuff. Great stuff.
You feel awfully happy. So you can feel very
And the forwards are away.
Don't tell them off no more now.
Oh, no.
How are you doing?
Oh, we have more of this. We're trying to get it all as much into it as we can.
No time.
Hey, all right. I'll just take a few shots in here. Huh?
An empty car.
No, I have 4 in the car. How did you get it? Huh?
You're a liar. You have only 2 in the car.
You're not on the video now.
Have your scores, yeah. So we can call Jerome Murray got 2, John Nolan got 2, Jeff Ward got 1, Noel McGuinness got 1, Seamus O'Neill got 1, David Delaney got 2. What are our scores now?
Speech now after that, Steve.
I had most of your scores.
Yes, wing.
Yes, as I think.
I let in the video man here. Step aside, please. In there.
Sorry, there's no noise in here at all.
We'll all go on together.
Am I in the right dressing room? Be careful.
And we'll go home to Swinford just for the long 30 walk, right? We'll go home to Swinford. Look, lads, you can hang on to your jerseys if you want. Yeah. Give them back to you when we get to the ground. We'll all leave here. We'll all leave here together. Look, lads, when we won't be half any other vote on. Thanks for the effort that you put into HBO, and hopefully we'll go on to the counter by next.
Is there a towel there? What are you going?
Speak to the manager.
Who has a towel? I'm on a towel. James Brett.
We're going to speak now to the manager, Sean Riley here.
Quiet.
Sean, have you any comments to make now?
The only comment I have to make is I'm deeply indebted to the boys. I'm absolutely proud of them. The club is proud of them and the town is proud of them. They were down there with their backs to the wall with 14 men. They came back and they showed true grit. And that's what it takes to win football. We're going forward from here and we're going to bow to nobody.
Can we get in on the crowd?
Yes.
Can we get down now beside him? Now, James, how did you feel out there today? A goal and what? 3 points? 2 points?
Great to be part of the team, Tom. 3 men over 21.
Yes. It's not bad, you did good stuff.
I think it's a credit to the lads, to the young lads, the minor team, the under 21 team.
Who's the manager? No, I have it to the manager. How for man of the match?
Go get a shower, continue in the shower.
Where's that can of Coke from man of the match? Did you give him that can of Coke?
Pat has the camera, Pat has the presentation. Pat Murray? Where's that can of Coke? Pat Murray? Oh, yeah. Give me that can. Give me that unit here, lads, please.
Give me that can of Coke. This is man of the match.
No, man of the match is Murphy Stowe. Right, Pat Murray, your announcement for man of the match.
Hold on here, lads.
First to say we were very pleased when Murphy Stout from Cork decided to sponsor the Man of the Match award today.
Just stay up here, lads, at the right side.
As I said, Murphy Stout from Cork sponsored the Man of the Match award today, and there was a number of players coming into contention, namely Declan O'Donnell, James Brett, James Gilroy, and the other 13. But we decided on one man because he came in today after losing his place the last day and played a stormer, and that's Peter Brennan.
Come on, quick. Let's stand it. Come on. That's sponsored by Murphy. Murphy Stowe. Champagne. On behalf of Murphy Stowe, that's your man.
Momentum for the...
Oh, let me see it, will you?
Hello!
Well, lads, what's the comment there? Haven't? Anything to say?
Nothing to say, not a thing.
Nothing to say. Did you think they had a chance there when they went down to 14 men?
I thought they had a great chance all the time.
No, I have to watch this side and keep the sun side.
We were never worried at any time, Tom.
Never worried?
Never worried at half time.
Yes. They had one at half time and going in to play with the breeze. They had every chance.
We did, yes, I thought so anyway.
Charlestown were the better team on the day.
I think they were, yeah.
Connor, you could have been togged out there today.
His day's coming.
Yeah. Score, as a matter of fact, there, lads.
213 to 9 points. 213 to 9 points.
213 to 9 points. Yeah.
For this game, how did you feel? Back a bit, yeah?
Tired.
None of that now, please.
Tired.
Cut that out.
Very sorry.
Yeah?
That's good to get back into the
It was
swing of
nice
it
to get
again.
back on the field, wasn't it?
So I didn't know what to do with myself for the first 5 or 10
You did
minutes.
okay, eh?
That was alright.
Trouble over here, the sunshine, I see you. Brendan Mayer you were on. Delaney, was that his name?
Yes, David Delaney. Very.
Yeah, you knew his form, I think.
I did, of course, yes. Well, I still have a break to him, and I've known his form from past games, and I just said I had to keep with him and keep him up to the game. And that's
right. Well, that was the main thing you did. Well, the back line played great today, all told.
We did a great back line today.
Yes,
and,
between yourself there now and James Brett certainly played great stuff.
Yes.
Mark O'Donoghue, of course, excelled.
James had a great game, and Mark as well, and I think the full back had an
Christian
exceptionally
O'Donnell
good
and John
game.
Carney was a big addition to their team in the
when
defence.
he came in, he done very well there.
And Carney did.
Of course, he had to come in with the 14th man, us being
that was it,
man
of course,
before
yes. Who was your other back there that played for you, left half back?
Sean Gavigan, I
That's
think
right,
he did
Sean
a great
did a
game.
stormer
Yes.
too.
He did, surely.
Threw a few punches, of course.
Oh, well, should you get that in the game?
This could be televised.
You want this now, be nice about it.
Yeah.
It was hard enough now. It was hard enough, yeah.
Wasn't too warm out there.
It was nice. It was just lovely. It wasn't very warm. It wasn't as warm as we expected.
Yes.
Did
you expect them to be a better team?
Yeah. We thought they'd be more physical. They weren't that physical.
I think you were more physical actually than they were. I think your game of slowing them up early on.
We were the better team, end of story, and we bet the shit.
Go. You get it all on video now. I'm taking off the yoke at the front, Tom.
Huh? Aye.
Tom, put down Galler as assault. He assaulted me there on the grass.
So, I had to have a word with you. We didn't talk to you at all.
How are you feeling there, James?
This is what it's all about, T.
Yes, that's what
This is the baby.
How many times have I told you that? Played well today, James.
This is the man that was going to America. This was the man that was going to America too.
Well, the big decision
Team
now
captain,
is he still going to go?
Declan O'Donnell said, look boy, we need you for this final. And he just stayed, boy, and he did the business. He did the business, boy.
Yes, he certainly did.
He certainly did.
James, you have a tough game there.
Get in there, Brett.
Tommy, how do you think? Fire away. Go ahead, you. You do it. No, you do the interview. No, you do.
I'd like to be able.
Come on, you're always looking to get in the picture. Hold on, I get this. Excuse me. Who's the yig and the yig and the yig? Throw my hand there now, go on. Hey, John Casey now, another big signature. Nice. That's what I can.
Dennis Carney, hold on. James Gallagher has reminded me already that we might be out there playing next year in the junior.
Yeah. That's right, did he say that?
Bye. I don't know what's been talking about it. So much skill.
Dennis, what was your opinion on the game today?
So much skill.
Who had the juniors?
Yes.
You feel your
We're here with Pat Murray and Tommy Mulligan.
Tommy Mulligan, long time
close together, Pat.
Long time supporter of the Charlestown GA scene. Tommy, what was your impressions on the junior final, East Mayo junior final?
Oh, I thought it was a tremendous game.
Yes.
Very, very good game.
Yeah.
Great young fellas all together.
Yes.
And of course, I'm delighted for an old friend of mine, Declan O'Donnell.
Yes.
I'm glad to see him getting a medal at this stage.
Yes.
And I know he'll get a county medal as well.
Yeah. Anyone else impressed you on the
Well, I thought James Kilroy played well, and so did Peter Brennan.
Yeah, he took his goal well, didn't
That's
he?
right. James
yes, we gave Peter Brennan man of the match. We thought he played one of the best players, most improved player.
Yes. It's very nice to see young fellas down from Glen, 3 or 4 young fellas down from Glen playing well.
That's right.
Tommy Brennan and the 2 Gavigans and Peter Brennan. It's
That's
very
right.
nice.
It was an unfortunate incident about Tommy Gavigan getting put out.
Oh yeah, but you see when the gremlin is up, Tommy, at this stage.
That's right.
You know, the gremlin is up and you're going forward.
Yeah.
So you have got to keep going forward.
Well, it's good to see a man that puts his heart in there.
You can't be pulling back at this stage.
I think it's great too to see subs coming on from being substitute the last day, coming on and winning man of the
match.
This week.
Great, it's great.
It should give all the subs heart.
Yes. And the likes of John Kearney, when he come on, he gives the young fellas great heart.
Yeah.
And he's a great leader.
His experience.
You know, and it's very good to see him about. Yeah. Fair play to him.
This seems to be a very committed Charlestown team, would you agree?
Oh, I think it's a very committed Charlestown team. You know, as the second string, you know, everybody is fighting for their place in the senior team.
Yeah.
So I think there is a very committed team, and I do think that we'll win the county title. No bother.
It's a very healthy state of affairs in Charlestown football at the moment, with 2 teams.
Very good. Any time that you have a
Yes, we're on.
2 of the Charlestown supporters were at today's match, Andrew Edge and Pat Coughlin, and we were here in Charlestown after the return of the victorious team to get their views on the match. Andrew, what are your views on the match today?
It was splendid. Absolutely.
Talk up now.